Hey guys, I'm now live. I am now live. As y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Dislikes are welcome, but make sure you hit something. Hello, Stacy Mack. How are you? Yes, I'm ready for it too. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't pay attention to that I do. And a lot of people did call it out that Queen Opp was probably most likely if the the heat hits the fan, she was gonna basically throw Dani under the bus. And one thing that was against her way before it started or got to the point of the wellness check with the police. Hey Genty, how are you? Happy Wednesday to you too. Is the fact before we knew it, Dani and Queen Opp knew that Dani already had um a DV with an ex and was supposed to be going to anger management, probably had to pay community service, all of the above. And then while with Queen Opp picks up another DV with somebody in Queen Opp's house. So right there, um, Queen Opp should have been real considerate of that. And even if she felt a certain way about Michelle all these many years, to try to use Dani as a mule to put hands on Shell, um, and it get to this point where Michelle had to be removed from the house. That's a bad hit. But as you see in the title, Queen Opp knew Dani needed a paid lawyer more than she did. This is why it went down like this. And I'm going to explain this to you. Queen Opp, I don't care how long she's been at Michelle in a physical and disrespectful manner. Let's take into account when she went to court and they gave her 30 days for putting hands on Michelle when Michelle took a vacation with Queen Opp, and allegedly Michelle's sister had called the police and Queen Opp went to jail. She did 30 days. I guess she may have got some sort of probation, probably some community service, and that was then. That was a few years back. But since then, we have not heard of Queen Opp in trouble with the law with Michelle until Dani came in the picture, okay? As far as Queen Opp getting locked up for putting paws on Michelle. Only time we heard of somebody going to jail and actually in the present time, going to jail because they were really beasting Michelle, like really putting the paws on Michelle, was Dani. And of course, Queen Op went because that's her house. You're allowing that to happen in your house and you're not doing anything about it. And the cops are literally watching the live stream of you standing behind, excuse me, Michelle while she looks battered. Like you played a role in it. Even if you didn't play in the role of her face looking the way it did, you were like they said on her charges, conspiracy. It was a conspiracy. You and Dani knew what you were going to do before the victim. So even though Michelle, of course, knew she was going to get some harm done to her, she don't know what they had planned out for and how long it was supposed to go for. She just knew that every day she got up, she had to be on pins and needles because the littlest thing Michelle did, she was going to catch it. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this live, and I'm not going to stay on here long, but I want to make my point. And I wanted to make my point on live. Queen Opp does not need or did not need that paid lawyer as bad as Dani did. Dani was already in the system once again. Queen Opp was in the system, and it was for putting hands on Michelle, but that was years ago. Dani just recently had an altercation with somebody prior to dealing with Queen Opp. I'm not saying she may already knew Queen Opp, but she wasn't in a relationship with Queen Opp. So if anybody Queen Opp should have been getting that lawyer for, paid lawyer, should have been Dani. Because if anybody would have been fighting their freedom, would have been Dani. Because we already know brainwash and reprogram has been in Michelle's head for 15 years. And Queen Opp knows, even from Michelle being gone from a distance, she knows how Michelle operates. She knows how her mind thinks. She knows what Michelle's gonna think. She knows what she's gonna say. The vendetta is not with Queen Opp. The vendetta is with Dani. Dani coming in the picture. Dani trying to take the attention that Michelle was getting, even though it was negative attention that Queen Opp was giving Michelle. Michelle did not like the fact that Dani was there. Even though she was getting mistreated, she didn't like the fact that Dani was there. And then that Queen Opp was allowing her to put hands on her as well. Now, as Queen Opp got too, far along, she wasn't physically able to handle Michelle the way she did when she wasn't pregnant. So it made it easier for her and more acceptable for her to allow Dani to do the disciplining, is what I call it, which is sad because Michelle is too old to have somebody disciplining her. But that's just how it was. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in. Hey, hey. Hey, can I have a quick recap? Coco Bob, we just started like 7 minutes ago, so it's nothing to recap yet. I'm just getting into it. I'm reading some of these. They both did it. They both did it. Yep. But what I'm trying to say is Queen Opp knows that whatever was said behind closed doors with the DA, the vendetta was against more so Dani, because Michelle, in my opinion, despised Dani. Now we can agree with this now. Now, even though Queen Opp was treating her bad too, she could accept the verbal and the physical DV from Queen Opp, but she wasn't going to accept it from some outsider who came in and called themselves being in a relationship with Queen. Queen is playing with these courts right now. If there's any truth that Queen Opp got a paid lawyer, and because she got a paid lawyer, now she think she's some A-list celebrity with a top-notch lawyer, and that she's gonna start taking stuff to trial because it's a paid lawyer, then you go ahead and do that, because you're gonna hang yourself, because you're gonna get in front of these courts. They're gonna read off the charges. You're gonna be playing this. I'm humble. Well, it's fake humble. I don't want these charges on my record. I'm not this person. I don't. And if I plea out to it, it's gonna be on my record forever. You want to play this fake humble, because you're not humble at all. But you want to play like you're a humble person, and you can't fathom that somebody would make these lies up on you when we know that they're the truth. I did commentary on Nature Boy. Nature Boy literally would do something on camera and then blatantly say he didn't say it or do it. And that's how Queen Opp is. She believes her own lies. She's been doing it for so long, she probably could have a lie detector test and pass it. If you believe your own lies, there's nothing that a person can say that makes common sense that's going to make common sense to that person. If they're already set out to be right, you can't say that they're wrong. And if it's any truth to that, Queen Opp is taking this to trial. Obviously, what's being put against her, what's being said through her lawyer, that they're accusing her of or trying to indict her on, she's saying she didn't do it. If you got that much time on your hands to take something to trial, she must not be looking at no serious time. Or even if she pleads, it ain't no serious. The plea is not nothing serious. It's a cakewalk for her. And Michelle won't get the justice that she deserves. Because if it was something serious, Michelle paid lawyer or not, I mean Queen Opp paid lawyer or not, would not try to take and fight that. Now, who does need to fight that? Maybe if she had a paid lawyer, it would make things go away, soften the blow. Is Dani. She's the only one right now that through the grapevine, through the professionals, through documents that you can read online, and a lot of us don't know how to read the charges. We're just reading them. We don't know what they mean. But when you have somebody break it down to you, which I have had offline, the one that needs the blow softened is Dani. She's already got a DV with the ex. She's going to anger management. They've already given her a break. And I'm quite sure this happened, within a year that Dani picked up this charge with an ex. She hasn't been with Queen Opp a year, maybe close to it, but that may have been the last chick she was with prior to being with Queen Opp. She caught a case with that chick. Obviously, the Commonwealth took it over, or maybe the ex cooperated, and she got hit with a sentence. The sentence was, you know, that she has to do anger management and probably pay community, do community services, pay something. That was a slap on the wrist. Some states you could do crimes, similar crimes over and over again, and you keep getting slapped on the wrist. I don't know how it is in Philly. Maybe Gen T can explain it. But I'll tell you one thing, from what I'm hearing, Dani is trying to buy some more time. That's what she's more worried about, because she knows she's going to go to jail. She knew that if she picked up another case, and especially the same kind of a case. You're playing in the court's face, Dani is doing. That's how they're looking at it with Dani. You're playing in our face. Now we have to show you we gave you one break. Ain't gonna be no 3 strikes and you're out. We're not gonna give you a second strike. You striked out the first time we gave you a break. Now you striked out a second time. Now we have to show you better than we can tell you. I hope not, but I really think Shell's going back to Queen. I hope not either. But I just got this gut feeling when the smoke clears, that looks like the situation. I'm just saying, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I think that right now, even low key, you don't know. Queen is not going to tell you. She might even want to be rid of Dani. She just don't know how to tell her, because Dani might know some stuff that can lessen her sentence if she allegedly has to do a sentence behind what she did to Michelle. That can incriminate Queen Opp and send her to jail on that. It may have nothing to do with Michelle, or something that does have to do with Michelle, that she did to Michelle, deep dark secret. That if Dani knows it, she can tell the DA and soften the blow. But I honestly feel like if Dani goes to jail, and that's what it looks like, because why wouldn't Queen Opp try to get on social media and beg for money for both of them to have legal attorneys? Why just her? Because she already knows and thinks that it don't matter if Dani got a legal paid attorney. She's gonna go to jail anyways. That's her mindset. She's playing that's my boo thing only because she's using her for a babysitter. And Queen Opp is desperate because she's using her for a babysitter, and every day she's drunk. she's drunk. She's always under the influence. How are you using someone who does watch the baby 99% of the time, but you have somebody watching your newborn, a couple of months old, under the influence? You can't even convince me, even on the floor with the rug, that she has not dropped her and she done rolled over on her head a couple of times, messing around with Dani in that Taylor port wine. It says Queen set Dani up. I believe so too. I'm starting to see it now. I'm really starting to see it now. And I'm really starting to see it now. And I think that's another reason is either uh her attorney told her to stay off of social media, or Queen Opp is staying off of social media because she's such a narcissist and she's so compulsive. She might tell on herself that she did that to Dani. Somebody got to take the blow. And see, what to me rocked Dani to sleep was, well, we're both in equal trouble because she been doing it to Michelle for 15 years. But it doesn't matter, because if Michelle's cooperating, but she's not screaming Queen Opp is terrorizing me, and she's downplaying the 15 years, and she's lying saying it was a skit, trying to soften the blow for Queen Opp, which I know she's doing that. That's just my opinion. But she's looking and telling the people, but Dani came in the picture, and I felt like it was 15 years of DV in a short period of time with Dani, the way she was putting hands on me. Queen Opp never treated me like that. If the story's going that way, Queen Opp rocked her to sleep. Queen Opp rocked Dani to sleep. And so did Michelle. Because if she does, in fact, come back, as sickly as it sounds, and they took Michelle out of that house. Michelle was not going to leave. Understand that. She had no other choice. The police made her leave, but she still would be there under those circumstances with Dani and Queen Opp. She was not leaving. As badly as she looked, she was not leaving. I will agree, the night in questioning, when they made her stand in front of that camera, she did have that help me look on her face like, please, somebody call 911. But it wasn't to get her out the equation. I believe it's to get Dani out the equation. If they set it up, the cops, in a way where she felt safe and Queen wouldn't have knew about it, you might say, well, how could they have done that? I don't know. I didn't have time to think about how that could have been pulled off. But if it could have happened, where Queen Opp wouldn't have had an idea when the cops came, and they set it up where Queen Opp wouldn't have had an idea, but Michelle was able to throw Dani under the bus to get her out the equation, Michelle would have stayed and Dani would have been in jail that night. And Michelle wouldn't have been going to no hospital and on no second wellness check. Because the first time the police came, it was a wellness check. The second time they came, it was a wellness check. And they took her out of the house and put her in an ambulance, pretty much, to take her to the hospital. It had to be an ambulance outside. Did I see one? No. But usually, because it's not the police's job to take someone to the hospital, there's got have to be an ambulance out there to check that person that's getting a wellness check. There's got to be one out there to put her in the ambulance and take her to the hospital. I'm not trying to say that cops don't put people when they go do wellness checks into their cruiser cars and take them to the hospital. But whatever how she got there, she went to the hospital. So let's not downplay this now, because Shelly didn't leave on Shelly's terms. Shelly left on the Popo's terms. Shelly is not going back to Queen. I hope not, Jen. I don't, and when I say this, Jen, I'm not saying it being cruel. I'm not saying it because I wish it. I'm just saying we've been down this road before. The situation might be different than when it was when she was over Queen Opp's sister's house and the sister called the police. And then once Queen Opp got out of jail, because allegedly she did 30 days in jail down south, um, that ticket that the family had sent Michelle, soon as Queen Opp got out, she was right back with Queen Opp once the smoke cleared. I mean, I'm not the only one saying this. Her own cousin saying it. Smoking on Queen Opp. Either probation will get harder or she do 6 months. The DV judge was sick of me. You said sick of me. Said yes, that part. I said yeah. So you got to be careful, cause see, people are getting really rocked to sleep with the Michelle's gone. Michelle didn't want to go. If you want to use the word go, only thing Michelle wanted to go was Dani. She wanted Dani to go. That's the only thing Michelle wanted to go was Dani. She wanted Dani to go. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Come in. Yeah, let's try to get them likes up. Let me refresh the page. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong here. But yeah, let's try to get them likes up, please. Because I actually wasn't going to go live today because I started getting tired. But I said, nah, while this is heavy on my mind, I've been doing lives. But like I said, I ain't been doing no long hour lives because that is not the point of getting on here, being on here for hours. The point of, if I have something that I want to say to my peoples, I want to get on live like I'm talking to you over the phone or in person and speak my piece and then keep it moving. So sometimes our lives won't be an hour, but if I got to say something that's heavy on my chest or on my mind or my heart or whatever you want to call it, I will do a live. And live might be 10 minutes, but I want to get it off my chest before I go to sleep. I'm gonna do my live and speak on it. Now I hope that is not what happens. I hope, but I've been in relationships with men before I got married, and I put up with. I had one guy I was with for 13 years, and I just could not get rid of this man. I wouldn't leave him; he wouldn't leave me, but he wasn't good for me. And times when it got on a legal standpoint, because I may have called a popo on him, um, and he was looking at some serious time, and I just figured it's got to be over with this time because I can't jump back from this, or he can't jump back from what he did. I think this is the end. It never was the end. It took 13 years for me in that relationship, and it was toxic. Now we're older now. If I see him right now, I made him a better man for another woman, and he made me a better woman for another man. If that makes sense, it makes sense to me. But it took me 13 years. Okay, Michelle been with Queen Opp 15 years. Sometime you might not be in love with somebody to take their BS, but you might be used to them. And that used to factor is dangerous and is deep because it can take 21 days for you to get used to something and not want to turn back, good or bad. You got to be careful. I always say this, you got to protect your eyes and your ears because it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. And when you have someone who from day one has been trying to brainwash you and reprogram you, and 15 years has went by, they did a pretty good job. Because there's no way. I'm only speaking as a woman who dates the opposite. I feel as though if I was with a woman or whatever the situation might be, and she was the same, as me, a woman, I don't think I could put up with no woman deboing me like that. But you never know. It might be the same kind of love or the same kind of used to as a man and a woman being together. You know the man ain't good for you. You stay with him even though he's not good for you. And you just keep putting up with his mess or her mess because you love him or you're in love with him or you used whatever the reason is, you stay in that toxic relationship. So we're gonna see how this plays out. I definitely had to speak on it. I also was looking around because I might be on my second channel. I want to confirm when Queen Opp had said, I want to say it was in that video when they was in that hotel where they had a laundry room in the basement and they were washing the baby's clothes. And towards the end of the video, she was saying something about, I think they both have legal attorneys or something. If y'all know what video I'm talking about, please put it in my DMs on IG. But I want to pull that up because I could have swore, and I know I'm not crazy, that Queen Opp had us thinking for some time that they both had paid lawyers. Come to find out, only one has a paid lawyer is Queen Opp. And the one that really needs a paid lawyer is not Queen Opp, it's Dani. And if you really want to save that relationship and have Dani free while you're walking around probably going to get slapped on the wrist with probation and community service, Queen Opp, you would have made sure that Dani had that lawyer. You said, Lord have mercy. Yes, you're right. I saw that. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm trying to find that video. So I'm gonna look on my second channel and I'm gonna see if I can find, it's just so many videos. It might be on my second channel because I did look on my main channel. I don't see it. So it might be on my second channel. But I'm gonna check it out. And once I find it, hopefully I find it tomorrow, I'm gonna share it with y'all and I'm gonna go live and we'll listen to it together. But I could have swore I heard her say, and like I said, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I thought I heard her say that she has a paid lawyer for both of them because I like to think the best for people and of people. But I could have swore I heard Queen Opp say that there was a lawyer, paid lawyer for both of them, and she bragged about it. But that's not the case. So I'm about to get off of this live. I just wanted to get this off my chest before I laid it down. Queen Opp wants Dani to get caught up so that she can move on to the next. Yep, Barbara, exactly. Even if it's not Michelle, it's somebody else she probably got in mind. She said we both have paid. Yep. I'm just trying to find that video, sis. You hear me? I just want to find that video. Because, around here, you got to make sure you show receipts. If you don't, people ain't going to listen to nothing you say. Because in a lot of people's eyes, Queen Opp can't do nothing wrong. But we all know that's farther from the truth. But listen, I'm going to get up off here. That's all I wanted to share with y'all. I'm not going to sit on here for no 2-3 hours trying to drag it on because I just don't do that, honey. If anything, if I try to drag something on and I'm done talking, I might fall asleep on here. If anything, that's what I'll drag on and fall asleep. She did say that at first she lies so much. I know that, LaShawn. Yes, I'm gonna look also. If you do find it, whoever does, and you too, sis, just put it in my DM, baby girl, and then we can go over it tomorrow. Cause I'm looking for it too. I'm gonna look on my second page. I think it's on my second channel that I put that video. Dani has a public defense. Yep, she sure does, and that's messed up because she really needs to be the one that has the paid lawyer, not Queen Opp. But listen, hit that like button on the way out. And if you're still up in the chat, put some hearts up into the chat. Let's show some love. Spread some love on this channel here. But make sure you definitely hit the like or the dislike. Make sure you share the video. And also make sure that if you subscribe to the channel, you have your notification bell on with the option all. So when I go live, thank you, sweetie, with the hearts. You guys will be the first one to watch. Love y'all. Stay blessed. And I'm out. Mwah.